How do? Heard a quote earlier this week. Basically said, for an egg, if an outside force cracks the shell, life is ended. But if the shell is cracked from the inside, life begins. And he said everything good comes from the inside. I liked that quote. It was pretty awesome. I had a great conversation with my sister last night. We ain't talked basically since like Christmas or New Year's. Life gets in the way. Life comes at you fast. So I was just checking on her, you know. She said, hey, I'm gonna call you tomorrow. Cool. She called me. We called up, talked for about an hour. It's good. Good times. Then apparently, after our conversation, she goes and posts on them Facebooks about me having a YouTube channel. Look, I hope I can inspire you. I hope this motivates the hell out of you. The reason I didn't post to all my followers, you know, all my friends and family, is because it's not necessarily about y'all. I've got my own main private Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and whatnot. This one is essentially public. I'm allowing God to do what God does without my influence. I'm just trying to be disciplined, dedicated, consistent, better, do my part, and let God do what he does. I'm not saying I'm some holy roller, but I believe if I do what I'm supposed to do by posting this content, it'll reach whoever it needs to reach. So all that to say is I didn't post it because I didn't want it to come across as selfish. I didn't necessarily want it to influence or piss off family or friends. You're more than welcome to watch it. I'm not saying that. But I didn't put it up there because I didn't want it to be like, oh wait, hey look, another who's he what's it. This is me just kind of posting and see what happens. I will tell you, like my daughters told me, you gotta say certain lingo. You gotta say comment, like, and subscribe, or click the follow link or whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Update. In January, I was able to average 3+ miles walking a day. I really enjoyed that. As my former videos, quitting smoking stuff to the degree that I need to rein in my snacking habits. Well, yeah, I did put something unhealthy down, but I also replaced it in the meantime with protein bars, snacks, 100-calorie bars at a time. So if you ain't out here at least burning 500 to 600 calories, you're not gonna burn the snacks that you're making. I ain't trying to be skinny. Yeah, I am. Who am I kidding? I'm trying to get back down to 220s. I got down to 220s. I got into a size 36 pants for the first time in shit, I don't know how long. Probably since 2013. And it felt real damn good. Really good. Well, I've kind of slacked. I own it. I'm not beating myself up about it. Hey, I backslid, right? I checked the box, if you will. No, just to, yep, did my mile a day. The funny thing is by like January 10th, I'd already crushed the same amount of miles I did in December. Because in December, I was only doing a mile a day. By January 10th, I already had like 35, 38, something, I don't know. It was pretty crazy. So, I'm trying to hold myself to a certain standard. Got a plane flying, hang tight. Sorry for the interruption. Them rude planes flying over top of me. Ugh. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, what I was saying was, I'm proud of myself. I'm happy. I think I'm happier now as a 45, 46-year-old, now that I'm officially 46. But I started getting happy with myself at 45. I don't know why. I can't call it. But according to some of the quotes I've seen, them inspiring quotes and motivation quotes, all the things, some of the positive content that I'm putting in, whether it was in a book or on, Jim Rohn or Tony Robbins, whatever. Basically, you can't float your way to the top. What did that mean for me? You have to take charge of something. One of Jim Rohn's speeches basically said, there's two things that drive people: prosperity and adversity. And he says, if you don't have one, pray for the other. Because you ain't going to go 25 years wondering if you're going in the wrong direction. If you make a choice and go with it, you'll figure out real damn quick if you're going in the wrong direction. So that was an inspiring quote to me. Again, that dude, I think he passed away in like early 2000, if I'm not mistaken. And some of these quotes, reels, whatever I'm seeing, are from like the early 80s, mid 80s. I can tell you this, when I was growing up, back in my early 20s, Tony Robbins was a kook. I'm like, ain't nobody that damn happy. Man, oh man. If I could have paid attention back then and actually understood back then, how much further along would I be right now? So, it's kind of pointless to think that, because things happen for a reason. I believe that. I also asked my wife, I said, babe, because I'm so smart and so enlightened now. I said, babe, maybe I didn't start figuring shit out until 45, because that's like my 40 years in the wilderness. Aha, yeah, maybe not. Maybe I'm just thick-headed. Maybe I wasn't meant to understand it right. I don't know. But I'm having a blast enjoying and figuring it out now. One thing I have learned, right? People, I've heard it said, and I've probably said it myself before, well, if God created everything, why does evil exist? Okay? I don't have the answer for that. I'm not God. I'm just him. Hey. But one of my beliefs is, what is darkness? Is darkness the opposite of light or the absence of light? I don't know. I believe it is the absence of light. So, is evil something created by God? Or is it something because it's the absence of God? Something to think about. I I had two reels that come into my mind. One, when I was dreaming, and I woke up from that dream, and I was like, holy shit, why did that speak to me so vividly? Why am I thinking about a reel while I'm asleep? So the thought that popped in my head was, it was this, I would imagine she's like an older black lady mom, and it was her younger black son. And he basically said, everybody out here fearing the devil. And then she kind of like did a double take, like, the hell you mean? And he's like, yeah, everybody hates the devil, or everybody fears the devil. And she's like, I don't fear the devil. I'm gonna feel the created more than I feel the creator. And I was like, okay, I'm interested. So then the thought in my dream, you know, you hear about the potter's clay, right? Your clay in the potter's hands, and he designs and does all the things, right? So my childish imagination thinks of Play-Doh. Like, everybody's played with Play-Doh, or I would imagine everybody's played with Play-Doh at least some point. Hell, a lot of people ate it. But anyway, so yeah, maybe not the Bible version of it, but like Play-Doh, I'm sitting here thinking, oh no, Mr. Bill. And if you're too young to understand that, I'm sorry, go look it up. But making little people out of Play-Doh. I'm a creator. I created this little Play-Doh person, or Play-Doh design, or whatever. Well, I'm a fear of the Play-Doh versus fearing me. Now, that may be very simplistic. I'm not saying I got it all figured out. I am not the authority at all knowing all whatever. But maybe if I can be the conduit and make it make sense to you, cool. If not, keep scrolling. So, and then the other one was a Tony Robbins one. I don't know if he was young man or if it was recent. But basically he's like, hey, imagine you're God and you come down to hang out with your creations. And you meet one of your creations and say, hey, I'm God. What do you think about this planet and all the things, right? He's like, well, God, you know, you can make it a little better. You know, it's hot sometimes, it's cold sometimes. Can't be nice and 68 degrees or 70 degrees all year round. And can you do something about these bugs? Blah, 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 and pissing and moaning, right? I got the gist of the story. I'm not going to repeat everything. And then it goes to another person. He's like, hey, I'm God. What do you think of my creation? The guy's like, wow, this is so wonderful. You know, it's never the same day twice. You know, it's cold some days, it's hot some days. How exciting, how wonderful. It's always something new. And you say, and you got these bugs, and they're like 1/1,000,000th size of me, but yet they're brave enough to come and try and bite me. That is so crazy, so heroic. And he basically said, if you were God, which one would you want to hang out with? The guy who praises you and loves everything about you? Or the guy that pisses and moaning and complains and is like always asking for better shit? Doesn't appreciate what he has. That hit me hard. Granted, while I have a lot more gratuity and gratefulness in my life and in my heart, in my mind, in my soul lately, over the past year, I wasn't that person, and I still struggle with it. I still struggle, to say the right things. People still piss me off. I ain't perfect. Especially if I'm in traffic. Oh my God, please don't get in my way in traffic. While most times I'm good. There's sometimes I'm not. And I got to pray for forgiveness then. As soon as it comes out my mouth, God, please forgive me. I didn't mean to say that. The knucklehead cut me off. Want to get in the left lane and drive 5 under the speed limit. Don't they know this is the ticket lane? The people that got money to pay tickets? Get in the right lane. Just kidding. But that's how a lot of people think. Anyway, I hope this brightens your day. I hope some of the messages speak to you. I pray that God does his thing. Until next time, my friends, and hopefully next time I won't have this little snot nose crap in me. Love y'all. Be good. Bye.